GovLink is the first e-filing and workflow tool designed by and for child support agencies. It is currently being used statewide in Georgia, Wyoming, Louisiana, and South Dakota. GovLink is also being used in counties across California. Child support attorneys, paralegals, and caseworkers are responsible for very important work. The pace at which they complete their tasks directly affects the children and families of their states. GovLink is used across the country to save child support professionals time and use their time to serve their communities. GovLink is a web-based platform that does not require any installation. To get started, the user will log in using their approved state email address and individual password. Once the user logs in, they'll be taken to their GovLink dashboard. What they're going to see when they log in on their GovLink dashboard is their assigned to queue and their unfiled filing status. This means when I log in, what I see immediately is the filings that are awaiting on some type of attention from me. Before we get too into our dashboard, I first want to show you all how information gets entered into GovLink. We're going to do so by starting a brand new case. Clicking on New Case at the top of the screen, we're going to be taken to our filing stepper. Here we can see that there are 4 steps to effectively and efficiently get this filing filed to the court. There are 3 different ways we can go about pulling information in from a historic system of record. Pictured here is the Georgia test environment. Within Georgia, we're going to pull a data file from their historic system of record STARS. From here, I can select File, and I'm going to have a preview of my desktop. From there, I can select the document in which I want to upload containing the data file. Once that's been selected, I'm going to see all of the information automatically populate. I do need to select my attorney, and then from here, we can have all of this information be required fields or optional fields based on the organization preference. There's always the option to manually enter in information. Manually entering in information is quick and effective. We also have the ability to connect directly with the historic system of record. Pictured here, I'm going to type in my historic system of record ID, as well as select the county associated, and I can click Import Data. We can see that the information automatically pulls into GovLink from what is reflected from the system. Step 2 is where I can see all of the party information. Again, this is coming directly from the system of record. At a glance, I can see all of my parties listed as well as their party types. On the left-hand side of the screen, if I hover over the person icon, I can also see additional party details. Going on to the next step, this is where I can upload my documents in which I want to file. I have the ability down at the bottom to select what type of file I wish to upload. I can upload any document that's locally stored on my computer. So maybe there's a shared drive. Maybe I just store my documents on my desktop. I can upload them from here. Going to File Explorer, I then can select the document from my desktop. From here, I can see this document has come in directly from my desktop. I can select my document type. I can scroll or type to search for my document type. On the right-hand side, you can see I have a description field. This description field is for additional information that I do want to be sent over to the clerk of court when I'm ready to e-file. I also, at the bottom of my screen, have the ability to upload a templated document from my document library. These templated documents are built within the GovLink system and autofill information from your system of record. So once I select the document in which I want to upload, I can add it to my filing, and we're going to see it directly come into the system. Once it's been uploaded into GovLink, I have the ability to click and edit any of my documents. I can edit that local document in which I've uploaded from my computer, or I have the ability to upload that templated document. We can see again all of the information that has come in from the system of record. Even though this is a templated document, I still have the ability to make edits to this document as needed. Once I'm happy with all of my edits, I can click Save. I also have the ability to split documents in which I've uploaded. I've uploaded my summons and complaint, but maybe my clerk of court actually likes for the summons and complaint to be their own separate documents. On the left-hand side, I can pull pages from that one packet in which I've uploaded and move them into their own trays. This is going to separate out the documents when I click Save into two separate documents to be e-filed. I also have the option, if needed, to leave any blank pages or pages that don't need to be e-filed on the left-hand side in the unassigned tray. These pages will not be e-filed to the court. Clicking Save where I had the one summons and complaint, you'll now see that they've been separated out into two separate document types. The opposite is also true. Maybe my clerk of court would like for my summons and the acknowledgement of service to be combined into one document. I have the ability to do that all within GovLink, never leaving the system. Clicking the Combine button, we're going to go to a very similar pop-out as before. Here I can see all of my pages are together in one tray. I can name my document type. I also have the ability to rearrange pages as needed within my tray. Clicking Save, where I had two separate documents, you'll now see that I just have one. If I have the permission to do so, I'll also be able to sign my document. If I have the ability to sign documents, my pencil icon is going to be available to me. GovLink is completely permission-based by user, not by role. So if you decide that some users should have the ability to sign documents, your organization can make that configuration. Clicking the button to sign this complaint, I can scroll down to the appropriate place within the document and drop my signature into the document. Clicking Save will then save my signature to the document. You'll notice that my editing functionality is now gone. That's because once I've signed this document, it is official and I don't want any further edits to be made. We understand that mistakes happen and you always can take away your signature if needed. Lastly, you always have the ability to rotate documents as well. Clicking the Rotate tool, I have the ability to rotate pages as well. I can choose to select individual pages, or maybe I know that all of my even pages are going to be the ones that need to be rotated. I can choose the direction and then click Rotate. Once I'm happy with the edits in which I've made to the document, I can move on to my final step, the summary step. This is where I get a brief overview of the whole filing. I can see the documents which have been uploaded as well as the history of this filing. This history is not super extensive, but you can imagine on the right-hand side, it will get extensive when I start passing this filing around my office. As mentioned before, within GovLink, you have the ability to assign out permissions per user. So maybe I didn't have the permission to sign documents. I'll be able to pop this over to my attorney, and I can leave them an internal routing note, telling them exactly why I'm sending this filing over to them. Internal routing notes stay local to the filing, so they're not seen by the clerk of court or anyone external to the filing, but I can let them know why I've sent this into their work queue. You have the ability to reassign this filing as many times as needed around your office. You also have the ability to assign this filing to a specific work group. So maybe you want the filing to go to a group of people. You can choose your group and then pending assignment will send it to the group as a whole. Or you can choose it to go to an individual person within the group. Everyone within the group will still get a notification that a filing has been assigned to their group, but the individual person will see that it has been designated to be worked by them. Down at the very bottom, we also have a spot where we can feed notes back into the historic system of record. So far, what we've been doing is pulling information from the system. We can also push information back. This saves time and duplicate entry for all workers. Again, if I have the permission to do so, I can choose that I'm ready to e-file. If I didn't have permission to e-file, this button would not be available to me. And when I clicked Save, this filing would go into the work queue assigned at the top. I'm ready to file, so I'm going to click that I consent and that I'm ready to deliver these documents. And now I have the availability to e-file. Clicking that e-file button will move this filing from the unfiled status into my submitted status. Here I can see my filing which has been submitted. This means it's been sent over to the court, and we haven't yet heard back yet if it's been accepted or rejected. My rejected status is where I can see my documents which have been rejected by the court. Here I have the ability to click into them, and I can see exactly why they've been rejected by the court on step 4 in the summary. There's no need for guesswork. I can see here that my document hasn't been signed and I need to apply a signature. Now I know exactly what I need to do to get this filing sent over to the court quickly and effectively. We don't anticipate many rejections for users using GovLink. In Georgia, before they started using GovLink, their rejection rate was hovering around 42%. Now, with the adoption of GovLink after 2 years, their rejection rate is around 2%. Going into the accepted filing status, here I can see all the filings which have been accepted. These are the ones that are assigned to me. I also have the ability to see all of the filings within my office which have been accepted. Here I can click into the filing. I can see all of the documents which have been accepted. I also have full visibility into the parties, as well as the attorneys on this case. I always have the option to follow filings, so if I've not been a part of this filing but I want to receive notifications and updates, if I'm a supervisor, this might make logical sense. I can choose to toggle this follow button to on. Or maybe I want to file into this case. It's super easy to do so. Clicking File into Case, I'm defaulted to step 3 on my filing stepper. We skip steps 1 and 2 because the party information as well as the case information won't change, but we have the option to go backwards if needed. I can now upload my documents and e-file to the court. You also have the ability to search for cases with civil action numbers by going to the Court Cases tab in My Cases. Here I can see all of the cases in the office as well that have been accepted, click into them, and file into the case. I also have the ability to search for cases around the state. Here I can choose my county and enter in my civil action number and search for the exact case. Clicking into it, I still have full visibility into this filing, but you can see that I don't have the option to file into the case. That is because I don't have permission to be in this location. I can always choose, however, to follow this filing to get notifications and updates when things are filed into it. As always, reporting is available for users. Up at the top, we have a couple different reports. The audit log report reports on any action taken by a user within GovLink. The user permission report is a high-level overview to see which users have permission to perform which actions. The filing status change report is more of an everyday report. I can run reports on what has happened this week, status events, and by user to generate a detailed report of what's happening within GovLink. We also have the ability to have a filing status snapshot report. This gives you a snapshot of exactly what's happening in each location around your state. And as always, support is available to users from 8 a.m. Eastern Time to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. They will receive real-time help from a customer concierge. Users also have the ability 24/7 to access our support page.